In 1997, a civil jury ordered OJ Simpson to pay $33.5 million to the families of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. It was one of the largest civil judgments in American history. And yet, OJ Simpson never paid a meaningful dollar of it. Instead, he moved to Florida. And that one decision protected almost everything he owned for the rest of his life. Today, we're going to break down exactly how he did it, why it was completely legal, and why the same strategy is used by thousands of wealthy Americans every single year. Because this story isn't really about OJ Simpson, it's about how America's laws are written, and who knows how to use them. Let's go back to the beginning. In October of 1995, OJ Simpson was acquitted of the criminal murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. The verdict stunned the country. Hundreds of millions of people watched it live. But criminal acquittal doesn't end civil liability. And in 1997, a civil jury in Santa Monica, California, reached the opposite conclusion. They found OJ Simpson liable for both deaths and ordered him to pay $33.5 million in damages. $8.5 million was compensatory damages, meant to compensate the families for their loss. $25 million was punitive damages, meant to punish Simpson and deter similar conduct. The Goldman family and the Brown family were now legally entitled to his money. But here's the thing about civil judgments that most people don't understand. Winning the verdict is only the first step. Actually collecting the money is an entirely different battle, one that can go on for decades. And OJ Simpson knew exactly how to fight it. Shortly after the civil verdict, OJ Simpson relocated to Miami, Florida. He purchased a home in a gated community, a house reportedly worth approximately $3.8 million. And under Florida law, that house was completely untouchable. Florida has what is called the Homestead Exemption. And unlike most states, Florida's homestead protection has no dollar cap. It doesn't matter if your home is worth $200,000 or $20 million. Florida law protects your primary residence from creditors completely, entirely, with no ceiling. This protection isn't a loophole. It isn't a tax trick buried in the fine print. It's written directly into the Florida Constitution. Article 10, Section 4. It has been there since 1868. The lawmakers who wrote it wanted to protect ordinary Florida families from losing their homes to creditors. What they also created, perhaps unintentionally, was the most powerful asset protection tool in the United States. And OJ Simpson used it perfectly. But the house was just the beginning. OJ Simpson had another major asset that the Goldman family couldn't touch: his NFL pension. Simpson played professionally for 11 seasons, primarily with the Buffalo Bills, where he rushed for over 11,000 yards and set records that stood for decades. By the time of the civil verdict, he was entitled to a monthly pension from the NFL. Reports suggested his pension payments were somewhere between $25,000 and $30,000 per month. That's up to $360,000 per year. Protected income that flowed to him every single month for the rest of his life. Federal law shields pensions under ERISA, the Employee Retirement Income Security Act. Qualified pension plans, including NFL pensions, are protected from creditors. It doesn't matter what state you're in. It doesn't matter what a civil jury has ordered. A creditor cannot garnish, seize, or intercept a qualified pension plan. So while the Goldman family held a judgment for $33.5 million, while their attorneys filed motions and sent letters and appeared in court, OJ Simpson continued collecting his pension every single month, for years, for decades. And there's a third layer to this that most people overlook. Florida has no state income tax, zero. That means OJ's pension income, any investment returns, any licensing fees or appearances, none of it was subject to Florida state income tax. Compare that to California, where the civil case was decided and where Simpson had previously lived. California has one of the highest income tax rates in the country, as high as 13.3% on top earners. Had Simpson stayed in California, the state would have taken a significant percentage of his income every year. And once a creditor establishes a lien, they can potentially intercept income in states that allow wage garnishment or income withholding. Florida offered a different deal. Keep more of your money. Keep your house. Keep your pension. And stay protected. Now, before we go any further, let's be absolutely clear about something. Everything OJ Simpson did was legal. He didn't hide money in offshore accounts. He didn't fabricate fake companies to conceal assets. He didn't do anything that a judge ruled was fraudulent transfer, at least not in the core Florida strategy. He simply moved to a state where the law protected his assets from creditors. That is it. And he is far from the only wealthy American to make that calculation. Think about this. Every year, thousands of people facing large civil judgments, surgeons after malpractice verdicts, business owners coming out of bankruptcy, executives after failed ventures, move to Florida, Texas, or other debtor-friendly states specifically for this protection. It's not a secret in legal circles. Asset protection attorneys discuss it openly. Books are written about it. Law school courses cover it. The wealthy understand that in America, the law varies dramatically from state to state, and those who understand the map can navigate it to their advantage. The Goldman family never stopped trying to collect. Over the years, they tracked down Simpson memorabilia and had it seized at auction. They filed claims in multiple jurisdictions. They won additional court rulings. They pursued him aggressively and publicly for over 2 decades. By most estimates, the Goldman family collected somewhere between $1 million and $3 million total over more than 15 years on a $33.5 million judgment. That's less than 10%. After 15-plus years of legal effort, Fred Goldman, Ron Goldman's father, became one of the most vocal and persistent judgment creditors in American history. And still, the core of OJ Simpson's assets remained protected. OJ Simpson passed away in April of 2024. He was 76 years old. The judgment had been accumulating interest for 27 years by then, worth an estimated $100 million or more with interest. It died largely uncollected. So what does this mean for you? Most of us will never face a $33 million civil judgment, but the principles behind this story apply to anyone who is building wealth, especially anyone who owns a business, works in a high-liability profession, or is simply trying to protect what they've built. Here's what you should take away. First, know your state's homestead protection. If you own a home, find out how much of its equity is protected from creditors in your state. In Florida, the protection is unlimited. In California, it's $750,000, which sounds generous until you're dealing with a multi-million-dollar judgment. In some states, the protection is as low as $25,000. Second, understand which retirement accounts are shielded. In most states, 401k plans, 403b plans, and qualified pensions have strong federal protection under ERISA. Individual retirement accounts, IRAs, have state-by-state protections that vary widely. Maxing out your retirement contributions isn't just smart for the tax benefit. In a worst-case scenario, that money may be the most protected wealth you have. Third, if you're a business owner, a doctor, a real estate investor, or anyone with significant liability exposure, talk to an asset protection attorney before something goes wrong. The time to structure your assets is before a judgment, not after. Transfers made after a lawsuit is filed or a judgment is entered can be reversed by courts as fraudulent conveyance. But proper planning done in advance with proper legal structure is entirely valid. And fourth, location strategy is a real financial consideration as your wealth grows. The state you live in affects your income tax rate, your asset protection laws, your estate planning options, and your legal exposure. Florida and Texas have no state income tax. Florida and Texas both have unlimited homestead protection. Wyoming and Nevada offer some of the strongest LLC privacy and protection laws in the country. These aren't coincidences. These states have actively crafted laws to attract wealthy residents and businesses. This is something that financial influencers rarely talk about, but the genuinely wealthy think about it constantly. OJ Simpson's story is one of the most complicated in American history. Criminal acquittal, civil liability, a judgment most people assumed would follow him forever. But the financial chapter of that story ended not with the Goldman family collecting what a jury said they were owed. It ended with Florida law doing exactly what it was designed to do. Protect the homeowner, protect the pension, keep the money in the state. Whether you think that's justice or injustice may depend on your perspective. But as a lesson in how American law actually works, for those who know how to use it, it doesn't get much clearer than this. If you found this breakdown useful, drop a comment below and let me know what other legal financial strategies you'd like us to cover. And if you want to understand how wealth is actually built and protected in this country, subscribe, because that's exactly what this channel is here to do.